And we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reinvention Conversations from the Front Porch, episode 16. I am your host, Hollis Thomases, and my guest this evening is Ayanna Osinuga. She's the founder of a new company called Con Consulting, and its incarnation is a result of a very interesting reinvention journey that I'm going to have Ayanna tell you about. For the moment, I am going to stop my screen and we're going to make sure that you can see Ayanna. So I'm going to ask Ayanna to say hi. Say hi to everybody, Ayanna, and welcome.
Hello, everyone. This is Ayanna Osinuga here. Super excited to talk to you guys tonight. Hope everyone's having a great night. And I do have my wine.
Ooh, well, then let's go there. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Moscato.
Oh, that's a great summer, and especially since it's so humid here in our Mid-Atlantic region. I'm having another kind of summery drink. It's a Pinot Grigio. I wrote it all down because, otherwise I wouldn't be able to read it. I have to put glasses on. Listen to this. It's from Italy, but it's Colpenweiser or Colpenweiser, I think, and it's a 2013 Alto Adige Pinot Grigio. The price point is about $13 to $16, 13% alcohol. I would say that it tastes a little bit like a Chardonnay, and it's not so dry, and it has a really long finish, which is all unusual. I think it's mislabeled, but it's good. So everybody, welcome. Here's how what I want you to know about tonight's webcast. It's brought to you by Reinvention Works, which is the destination for all things related to reinvention. It's about people and businesses changing, pivoting with deliberate intention. And Reinvention Works' webcast is meant to inspire, inform, and educate you with our casual conversation so that you can get on your reinvention journey. And tonight with my guest, Ayanna, she's going to tell you about her reinvention journey, and then I'm going to ask her some questions. So Ayanna, why don't we launch into your reinvention story, and you can tell us about how you got to where you are today.
Okay, awesome. So I got to this point today because it all started back in 2013. I worked for a telecommunications company in the finance department. And we had this huge meeting one day, all the directors and everyone flew in from the West Coast, and they came over and they called a big meeting. We had no idea what was going on. So then they said, unfortunately, you guys will be getting laid off. This department is closing because it was a satellite office and they were cutting costs and cutting back, and there wasn't any need for us anymore. And the job was relocating down south, but not everyone can go. So in my head, I just started brainstorming, what am I going to do at this point? So I decided to return to school, which is something I've been battling with for many years, to go back to get my graduate degree. So I saw a perfect opportunity, and it so happened that my ex-employer would pay a portion of my tuition. So I jumped on the opportunity, went back to school, attended Wilmington University, and decided to go into the human services administration field because I knew I wanted to work with people, help people, probably start a nonprofit at some point. So I went to school, I did my degree in a year and a half. I'm like, I'm cutting this down. I'm not going to do 2 years, I'm going to do a year and a half. So I did it while in school and studying nonprofits and the need to do my internship. I saw that there was a need for grant writing. I interned with a local nonprofit, and the executive director did her own grant writing. She was very overwhelmed, and she was wearing several hats. There was too many things for her to do. So I came in and I felt that need, and speaking with other nonprofits, they all have the same challenges. So I wrote my first grant in 2013. It was funded. It was a local grant through the Delaware Division of Arts, got funded, and I decided, this is something I should do. And started a company, and just, learned as I went along, and, did some workshops and took grant writing courses and just try to hone in on the skill to perfect it, get feedback, things like that, got a mentor, and here I am.
Well, I have to say, I think you glossed over a lot of facts, so I'm going to have to extract them from you. I get to grill you now.
Okay.
Um, so what strikes me about some elements of your story is that you gloss over a lot of things that you accomplished, hurdles that you overcame that a lot of people might have thought very difficult. And so I want to ask you about number one, at any point did you think any of this was difficult, or were you just sort of single-minded and of purpose that it never seemed to be something that you couldn't overcome?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm the type of person, once I make a decision about something, I just go head on. I don't quit. I won't stop. I'm persistent. So a lot of people said, starting a business is a challenge and it's difficult and all this other stuff. And I didn't care. I wanted to go for it because this was in my heart. I didn't want to work for another corporation and go through another transition and get laid off again, because that's what corporate America is all about. So working for myself, I had more flexibility and I didn't have that stress level of wondering, am I going to get laid off again? And, that's too difficult. That's very stressful. It was very stressful. I mean, going from having a steady paycheck every 2 weeks to being told, hey, that's coming to an end. I mean, having your own businesses is challenging, but it's also fulfilling because I have my own, I'm flexible. And 1 month may be good, 1 month maybe not so good, but still I'm working towards bettering me and growing my business and growing as an individual. And I don't have to worry about, who's going to ask me. I'm my own boss. So that's the stress level I don't have to deal with anymore.
Exactly. And so you finished your degree in a year and a half, which is also something that a lot of people wouldn't do. And you said you always wanted to go back and get your master's, your graduate degree. Why?
It's always been a goal to not just get an undergrad degree, but to, get a graduate degree because in today's society, I feel like you have to be at your highest level, at the top of the game, because I feel like an undergrad degree now is like a high school diploma. So what separates you from your competition in the job market as a business owner? You need to just go above and beyond, and always try to get more education and better your skills. So that was just a goal of mine, and it kind of fell to the back, having a family and things like that. So it was the perfect opportunity when I got laid off to say, enough. No more putting it behind me, just do it.
And did you go full time?
Yes.
Okay.
I did nights, I did summers, I did weekends. Yes. I was determined to get that done in a year and a half. Also, and it helps with the tuition, Yeah. So you cut it down, less debt.
Money, right. You did work in the finance department. So that's another question I have. You came out of a finance department and you started talking about how you wanted to help people and you thought you would start your own nonprofit one day. That's kind of a disparate, difference. Why? Was the job in finance just something that kind of you got out of college and you got that job and you stayed with it, but it wasn't really where your heart was?
That is correct. It was redundant. I mean, it paid the bills, and I was very grateful that I had that opportunity. But it was a redundant job. I created the corporate contract, my headphones in my ear every day, and I sat at the computer just days, just like I don't even want to say like a robot, just redundantly doing this every day. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but I got comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And this layoff was sort of like to shake me up, like wake up, snap out of it, just so that you can do the rest of your life. So I got on what I needed to do, and I love and I enjoy helping people. And working in the nonprofit sector allows me to do that because I'm fulfilling a need with the grant writing, and it's fulfilling when a nonprofit is able to get the funding they need to run their program and their project.
Right. And did you connect the dots on your own that you liked helping people and you wanted to do something for nonprofits? I mean, why not become a nurse?
Yeah. medical field is not my thing.
Well,
I'm not built that way, but just helping people in general. Like my thing was getting into a field helping women and children. There's a million nonprofits helping women and children. They don't need another one, but people definitely need a grant writer.
Right. And then you mentioned about how you did an internship. So how did that come about?
We were told we needed to do an internship for I did my final semester, which was the fall semester, and basically I looked for a nonprofit that was close to home.
Okay.
Like 5 minutes up the street, and which was perfect for me because my regular job was in Philadelphia, and it was a rough commute. I'm like, if I don't, have to do that, I wouldn't ever again. So I found a nonprofit that was close to home, and I sat with the executive director, and I let her know what my goals are. I said, I want to do grant writing. And she said, perfect, because I need a grant writer. I need assistance with writing grants and getting funding for different programs and things for the community. So it just was a good match for us.
Okay, so it was something that was a requirement of your graduate degree program. And at what point did you figure out that grant writing was something that was even a job? Like you went, tell the audience what your master's is in.
My master's is in Human Services Administration. So I did nonprofit management courses. I did grant writing courses. I did mock grants, and I was always told that, they were so good. I always got like an A in the class and got great feedback on the mock grants that I wrote. And I was told there's a need for it by one of my instructors. So I looked for the intellect and something I can do. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at it. It's sort of like it came easy for me. It wasn't difficult. I didn't have to think too much about it. I could just do it. And so it was a perfect fit.
So an instructor or somebody at the school was influential in sort of telling you that you were good at grant writing and that there was a need for grant writing. And then you also mentioned that you have a mentor. You have a mentor and you're mentoring at the moment.
Yes, I got a SCORE mentor and through Delaware SCORE, and he's been very great because it so happened that his wife was also a grant writer. So it was a perfect fit for us. So he gave me good feedback and, different things to do in my business. I'm sorry, my little one is just...
Oh, that's okay. That's what happens when you're a working mom. You never turn it off, either side. So I don't know if everybody in the audience knows what SCORE is. Do you know what the acronym stands for?
I do not. What is the acronym?
It stands for Society Corps of Retired Executives.
Oh, awesome.
And it's an offshoot of the SBA, the Small Business Administration. So there's a SCORE in every community, in every city in the country. So for everybody out there listening, if you are thinking about going into business, one of the resources that's free is SCORE. And in your instance, it was very helpful, it sounds like.
Yeah, very, very. I mean, this guy gave me such great feedback on how to structure my pricing, and it was just amazing. It was a perfect fit.
Great. So, and then, you started a company, like it was nothing. And it was, you mentioned quite a bit about, it gave you not necessarily job security, but it gave you a security of mind, a peace of mind that you don't have to lay yourself off ever again. And if you could make this work and you knew your own grit and determination, it sounded like if you were going to make this work, you were going to make this work.
Yes. By hello, high water.
And then one of the other things I love about your story is that because of the business that you do, you also knew of the other resources that you could take advantage of to help you fund your startup business, which I think a lot of small business people don't necessarily know that are out there. And in your instance, you took advantage of them. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about like an example of what you did?
Okay, so for me as a grant writer, I'm always looking for money. and for-profit grants are few and far between, but I'm always looking for resources that can help myself. So the YWCA, which is basically empowering women and business owners, had a summer course that was 6 weeks, and you come 1 day a week, and basically it was called business development course. So it taught you how to write a business plan, how to create a business plan, and you sat with a financial coach, and they provided grant money at the end of the program, basically $5,000 free money. And I'm like, why not? I can do this. I already had a business plan in the works because, you need one just to have some structure for your business. So I took advantage of that, and that afforded me the opportunity to create my own mobile application where it's available on the Google and also on the App Store, where you can download it for 99 cents, and nonprofits can get grants that are applicable to their program by their state. It's different criteria, different variables you will select, and it will populate all the grants that are applicable to you. So that opportunity through the YWCA and getting that grant money afforded me the opportunity to create my own
unique mobile app.
Correct. And there's no other app like that on the market.
Like the stuff that comes out of your head, I just like, you are a font of power and creativity, girl. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you.
So, was there ever a point that you were scared, and what was that?
I'm always scared, actually. I don't show it. Like, people are like, no, I know you're not. I'm like, I'm a big crybaby. I'm always scared. But my brain is always like in overdrive. I'm always thinking ahead. How can I be more innovative, more creative? Like, I'm a visionary. So what can I do next to be ahead of the competition? Because there are a lot of grant writers and consultants that do what I do, but what makes me different? So, yeah, I mean, there's challenges. There's some days, like some months where it's a perfect month, and then the next month is like, oh my God, So there's challenges where they're like, oh, I'm going to get a W-2 job, but you just got to stick in it because it comes with it. You got to have thick skin, which I do. So I get a little nervous, but I'm still going to hang in there because it's just part of it. Anything worth having doesn't come easy. So you just have to keep at it, keep chipping away at it to be successful. Because a lot of great CEOs out there, they've been rejected and turned down and had many challenges before they became who they are. So you just got to keep at it.
Ayanna, along the way, has anybody inspired you, or, is there somebody that you've looked to? You mentioned just now other CEOs have been rejected or failed. Is there anybody who's inspired you, or anything that's inspired you?
I mean, I'm always looking at different CEOs, what they do, like Bill Gates, the CEO of Starbucks, the Facebook creators. Like, I'm always looking at their stories. Like, it's amazing. Like, they got rejection. The WhatsApp guy, he got turned down, and then they bought his app for millions of dollars. So I'm always looking at different CEOs, what their stories are. And it's a motivation because you got turned down 7,000 times, but you got that one breakthrough that just put you like top of your game. And so those are inspirations to me. Like, I read up on those all the time. And, I just want to create like something that I can pass down to my kids. Like, they could say, their mom did something different. She wasn't unhappy just going back and forth to work. Because before, I was so stressed with the commute alone, like, it affects the family.
Yeah.
By having this freedom and flexibility, I'm happier,
Yeah. And you have little ones, and so you can be there for them, which is also important.
Yeah.
You get to see them grow up a little bit more.
Right, exactly.
Now, do you think that if this layoff hadn't happened and this 2x4 didn't come down on you, would you have stayed in that robotic job for a little bit? Or do you think this was ultimately this is what you were going to end up doing, something on your own?
I would have probably been stuck, at my desk with the headphones, doing the work, getting that paycheck, getting the bonus, the yearly bonus, the raise. It was like exciting. But then that was like my wake up call. I needed that. I needed that because I was basically I was dead on the inside. I needed that.
You're dead on the inside.
I was. I was so unhappy, like driving an hour and a half to work, and just it was just, so redundant. I wasn't happy. I needed that. So they did me a favor.
Right, exactly. I mean,
Thank you.
they always say when one door closes, another one opens. And in this case, what's interesting though is that other people might say, well, I got laid off and I like that cushy, redundant job in the sense that it was secure. So I'm going to go get another job. I have good skills and I have, you didn't do anything wrong that led to your layoff. So your employer was probably, did your employer offer outplacement services? Like if you had wanted to try to find another job, would they have helped you?
Yes. They offer great resources. I just didn't need to take advantage of it. I'm over it. It just wasn't for me because I've been burying that entrepreneurial spirit inside of me. So I just needed to just let it out, and they helped me do that.
So how long did you know that you had this entrepreneur spirit inside of you?
Basically, when it sort of like hit me when I got the news, and my brain just was like, okay, go back to school. And while in school, I just noticed that, I can start a business. I can start a nonprofit. It just kind of shifted. It's still in the same nonprofit world, but it just shifted to the grant writing. But at that point, I knew, it was in me.
Awesome. And besides your schooling, did you use any specific tools, technologies? You mentioned SCORE. Any other resources that has helped you in your reinvention process? And would you recommend any of them for people out there?
Absolutely. The YWCA is a great resource. The Women's Business Center, WBC, they also provide the same resources as the YWCA, where they help you with your business plan and they help you save, and they provide loans as well, and they help you. They also have the same grant program as the YWCA. So that's another great resource for, and just networking, talking to people. I get a lot of referrals from other people, like, oh, I know someone that needs a grant writer, or, just talking to people, networking. I'm always networking.
Yeah. Great. So reflecting on what you've accomplished, what's been the most rewarding part to you?
Just fulfilling that need, just knowing that, the nonprofit could provide the programs to help educate the youth or help the community and, just help them fulfill their needs with their programs to do better for the community. I love that. And, I love to, see the outcomes. The outcomes are great. Like, for example, right now I'm working with the Middletown Odessa Townsend Rotary Club, and they're creating a playground for kids with disability. Like, that's so fulfilling. Like, there's no other playground that does that. Like, kids with disability, there's, they don't have that many options. And this is like great for me. It makes my heart happy because you can help kids and adults with disability come, to a playground when they didn't have that opportunity before. So that's the fulfilling part for me.
Right.
Just, doing that. But this fund any and everything.
Right.
Tap into it.
And have you had, what's been your worst failure so far?
I haven't had any failures. Seriously. I don't see anything as a failure. I don't. There's challenges, you just overcome them. And, I'm just always thinking outside the box. I wouldn't say I had any failures. There's no failures. It's always a learning experience.
Good. So I'm going to ask you one more question, then I'm going to open the floor up to the guests in the audience. So folks, if you have questions for Ayanna, start to think about them. And I'm going to ask Ayanna, what 3 things would you tell our audience that they should do today if they want to start reinventing themselves?
Just listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Don't bury that little voice anymore. Pursue it. Follow your dreams. Go after your dreams. And, just don't be afraid, because fear is like disabling. Fear could really disable you. And just, push through, just push, just go after your dreams.
Great. Great. All right, so folks, I'm going to open the floor up for questions now. Again, if you want, you find the little icon that says Q&A. It's either in the bottom of your screen or one of the edges of your Zoom window here, and you type your question in there. So I'm going to ask Ayanna, I have a question, and here it is. You talked about dealing with plenty of fear as part of your day-to-day. How did you manage this fear or use it to push yourself forward?
Yeah, like I said, fear is really a disabling component that we have. I mean, I guess it's natural, but it's also there to catapult you. So my fear helps catapult me to do better. Like, I want to sometimes just give in and cave in, but it's like, no, you can't do that. I have responsibilities. I have people depending on me. So I just pushed through when it came to my fears.
Did it feel like a matter of necessity?
Yeah, necessity, and also just going after my dreams and my goals for once in my life, and not, pushing my goals to the side anymore. Just what I want to do for once.
When you were a little girl, what did you want to be?
I want to be an attorney. I will argue you down to the ground, and my mom would be like, you should be an attorney. Yeah, you can get nothing by me. If I didn't get my point across, I wasn't going to stop. My undergrad degree was in criminal justice administration, because I was literally going to go after that, but, life happened, so, it was just meant to be this way.
So that's where you get that thick-headed bulldoggedness, which has come in handy now, right? Besides which, knowing or preparing to go into the law makes you think very kind of big picture and logically, like it's strategic.
Yeah.
Which I bet has been an asset for you as a businesswoman.
Yeah. And in the nonprofit world, strategic planning is one of my services. Like, you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
You have to put it down on paper. You need that.
Very good. Very good. We have another question. Do you think you've finished your reinvention, or do you see another one in the future?
I don't know. I'm always thinking outside the box. Like I said, I'm a visionary, so I'm always thinking. Keeps me up at night. What can I do next? How can I be ahead of the game? So now I'm doing workshops, and I don't know where that's going to turn. Maybe I'll be doing tours all over the country with grant writing seminars. I don't know. So
there you go.
I'm always, thinking. So let's see. I don't know what the future holds. But
and I should let everybody know, you're the chief cook, bottle washer, and garbage taker outer, right? So you are not just doing the grant writing, but you're doing the hunting for your clients, and you're doing the customer service, and you're doing the fulfillment. You're doing everything.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. I follow up. I follow through. I do the research. The one-stop shop.
And we had another question. How big is your company? Is your company just you or more than you?
It's me, my web team of 3 guys, and 2 interns.
Great. Fantastic. And I know you just landed a dream client.
Yes, my Oprah client.
Your Oprah client.
It's the Salvation Army.
Woohoo! That's huge.
For 175 years in several different countries. That's my Oprah client, and they're going to take me to the next level. I'm name dropping every chance I get.
Except you didn't say that. I had to draw it out of you.
Yes, I am creating the grant pipeline for the Salvation Army. Don't worry. Me, I'm doing that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good for you.
Thank you.
So I don't know, do we have any more questions, folks? If we don't, I think that we're going to call this a wrap. But before we do, I want to share my screen again, Ayanna, except this time you will be heard. Okay. So we're going to take everybody through the way to get a hold of you. So the way to get a hold of Ayanna is either by emailing her at her business, which is, her name is Ayanna, Ayanna, at Khan, Khan Consulting, LLC.com. And she also has a Twitter account at Khan_consulting. And you also are on Instagram and Facebook, I
Yes.
believe. It's all Khan Consulting?
Khan Consulting, LLC.
Okay, great, great.
Find me on all social medias.
That's right. Is there anything that, before I move on to my own plugs, that you want to plug, Ayanna? You want to give everybody the name of your app again, your mobile app?
My app is called Grant Search, and you will see the wonderful red, white, and black logo. It's the K and the C, so you know it's me. And download it. It's only 99 cents, and it beats the other grant subscriptions out there that are hundreds of dollars. And it's basically a one-stop shop for private and federal grants.
And we should point out that for 99 cents, if you end up with a multi-$1,000 grant, it will be well worth it, eh? It'll be well worth that 99 cents.
Yes, and I take residual checks too.
All righty, folks. So as for Reinvention Works, we hope that you continue to join us every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find out about Reinvention Works by going to our website. The primary website has the listing of all the upcoming webcasts, reinventionworks.com, or you can find out about the next week's one by going to reinventionworks.com/webcasts. Our Twitter handle is at Reinvention Work. That's singular, no S, because we can't have more characters than 16 in our handle. Next week, we are having a fantastic guest and a fantastic guest host, because Hollis will be on vacation for 2 weeks. So we are going to welcome back Rob Spider Graham, who was my guest at the beginning of June, and now he's going to be my host. And he's going to be interviewing Tom Dearline, who has an amazing story. He was a graduate of the West Point Academy, served our country, went into private sector, then came back for the Iraq War. And while providing services in the Middle East in Iraq, he was critically wounded, apparently exactly 9 years ago to this very day. He was told he would never walk again. Not only does he walk now, but he is the CEO of a very successful technology company and the founder of a foundation. Ayanna. So please do subscribe and join that free webcast. I'm sure his story will be fascinating. I can't wait to view it. Hey, Rob, I might log in from, remotely the vacation. But it's always 8:30. Please register, tell friends, and our hashtag is #ReinventionWorks. So everybody, this is concluding episode 16. Ayanna, thank you so much for being a lovely guest. We loved having you. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye.